You gonna play that dastardly intro again?
Ow! This movie's still fine.
There's a collie pasta.
One of them dies, that guy's screw. One of them's a hottie, his name is Jay. One of them looks like Johnny Depp, and his name is Johnny Depp.
Classic Maximum Joseph.
You forget that films are supposed to have a point.
Do what you're gonna do, what you're gonna do when the music comes for you. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Hello and welcome to the worst idea of all time. Back in the studio with two brave boys watching We Are Your Friends for the 45th time. Is that right? 45th?
I would actually pronounce it as umpteenth, Tim.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what number umpteenth represents, but it feels like that number of times.
Alternatively, the nth time. You
Yeah.
ever heard that?
The nth to the nth degree.
To the nth time. Hey guy, it's so good to have you back here. We've been hashtag bad boys. Bad boys.
You make me feel so good. You make me feel so good. Bad boys do make you feel good, but also they'll break your heart.
They absolutely will.
You know, kick them out of there.
Yeah. Guy went to Western Australia for a little bit and he was hard to track down. He was off the grid. He was doing a little outback. What do they call it? Going walkabouts.
Yeah.
No, walkabout.
Yeah, I was.
No S on that.
I went. That's the end of the DVD. You know how it ends in the middle of that song.
Abruptly ended.
The
heater's on.
Yeah, respect to the heater. Shout out to the heater for keeping us warm on these cold winter days. Man, this place isn't insulated, and you can tell until you put the heater on.
Oh no,
well,
you're dead right. It isn't insulated, but I reckon this room traps heat way better than you would think.
Yeah, it does trap it. The heat is held captive.
It's held in here.
Like we were by
Yeah.
the film. I was in West Australia, Tim, and yes, I was difficult to contact at certain times. There's a 4-hour time difference. It's a very frustrating amount of time
Okay, here's the
to
thing.
be between two people.
This heater
Do you want me to get it?
has a mechanism where if it's not on a flat surface, it'll turn off. So if I can find something heavy enough to knock it over, we don't have to get up out of our chairs.
I
Let
can
me
really
attempt
just
this.
get up.
No, hold
That's
up, hold on.
really heavy.
Hold on. Oh shit! I
was a
went
big
too
miss.
high.
You know
What
what?
else can I throw?
You know, no,
Oh, this bourbon bottle.
yeah,
might
this
smash
empty bourbon bottle.
Mm.
You know what, Tim? If it's
Yeah.
bothering you so,
Your headphones are that's gonna be an issue. Let me unplug you.
we're off to a flyer. What I'd
Hey.
like to say to you is this.
Yeah.
I apologise to Tim
Yep.
for being difficult to contact. I know that you were busy. You were very busy, Tim. You've got a TV show to worry about now. You're a different man. You're a changed man. I leave, you're one person. I come back, you're another. I barely recognise you.
Oh, come on, mate. I haven't changed.
No,
I'm
it's
still the same old spindly timbly wimbly.
It's
surely.
that snappy haircut. I just can't get enough of it.
Come on, Flash. It's just the boys. That's all. No one's changed. Everything's the same.
You keep referring to yourself in plural now.
We just had a little. No, I'm referring to the two of us. You know, it's your. It's
yeah,
your
that's what I'm
boys.
worried about. You keep saying boys.
Yeah, you and me, you and I.
Oh, I see.
You and I together, two boys, two brave boys watching a film. We just had an unscheduled hiatus, and sorry about that. It's pretty crazy, though. I think that's the longest we've gone dropping the ball. We haven't let international travel slow us down before, but tell you what, that's the Australian outback for you, isn't it?
Oh, it's a place of wild animals and wild people too. I got to tell you, some of the characters I came across in my travels over West Australia.
Real quick, could you tell me about 3 of these Australian characters you found in the outback?
With pleasure. The first, a friendly man by the name of Trevor.
Yes.
He was, 50 years old if he was a day. And he kept offering me candy. I said, man, I'm in the bush. I don't need candy. I need water. He said, we keep the water and candy out here, boy.
Keep the water in the candy.
Yeah, but they didn't. He just thought that candy was a water source. He
Well-
was the sickest man I've ever seen.
Did you eat any of the candy?
Yeah.
Okay.
You had to if you want to stay hydrated.
So the water was in the candy?
Well,
Or it wasn't
no,
in the
it's
candy?
just the only thing that they had access to.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Who was another character that you met out in the bush?
A lady named Magda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, used to work as a housekeeper over New York City way.
I see.
Just wound up wandering around out there. Sandals, pants, a shirt, real regular clothing.
Did Magda sound vaguely Russian from memory?
I wouldn't want to...
I knew a Magda once at one point.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was a housekeeper.
Kind lady?
She seemed okay, but I think she had a lot going on, secretly, a lot of plans.
A lot of plans.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that sounds troubling. What gave you that sense?
Just shifty eyes, mainly. A lot of whispering to herself.
So a nice lady, but did you trust her?
No, Definitely no trust. But nice lady, though. Who was another character you met out in the Australian outback? Flash?
I met a lady who drove a van. I can't remember her name.
Van woman.
Well, she drove me around in the van for a while, I'll tell you that.
You know what you should call her? Van Morrison. That's
That's
what
what
I'd name her.
That's what people should call their van. They should name their van just Morrison.
Morrison is very good.
That someone's got to be doing that.
Oh, there's people out there doing all sorts of shit. I'm sure that's one of the things.
Do you ever think people out there are doing everything you can think of? So why do anything?
Yeah, exactly. Just stay indoors. Don't venture out because everyone's
Stay
done it
indoors
all.
and watch everyone else achieving the ideas that you're too afraid to have.
This is not a drill, person listening. Stay indoors.
Yeah.
It's time to shut it down and lock yourself away.
I don't know if you can hear that, but the nuclear alarm is sounding here in Auckland, New Zealand.
Yeah, it's a scary place out there, and that alarm isn't just for us, it's for the entire globe of the world of Earth.
You know, I hate that they put the siren in this city. I hate it so much. I said, it's so far away, you should want somewhere more central, surely.
It's bloody silly. We're in the bottom of the Earth. There's only how many of us? 4.5 mil? There's a lot of people out there. Chuck it in America. Put it in New York City. Somewhere important.
Anywhere. So it's somewhere less densely populated. If it's that loud that everyone's going to hear it.
Chuck it in Antarctica.
Yeah. Somewhere
South
out of the
Pole.
way. Honestly. They put it on our town hall. Just total disregard for the city planning. Just dropped it right on top of the town hall. The mayor was still in there.
The mayor was still in. The Prime Minister, he wanted it though. Spent a lot of money to get that siren. Thought it would bring in tourists. Didn't think it through. Not a smart
Absolutely
man.
not.
He's a dummy.
They said it would create labour.
Get rid of him.
Yeah, the real labour of having to listen to that bloody siren going off all the time.
He's not wrong, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, look. But let's not worry about that right now.
No, I'm worried about this film, to be honest. It's getting away on us. Tell you that. Hey, do you want to know something, though?
Nah, dog.
You told me something that I want to abuse. You gave me a bit of a blank check while we were watching the film. You said, you know what, when we did this podcast, I'm going to get in behind, I'm going to agree with you.
I did not say
I
that.
said, I'm going to fuel your fire, Tim. So, do you know what I want to say? I'm chucking a penalty on us for our slovenly behaviour this last couple of weeks. I'm penalising us.
I feel like you're abusing a conversational loophole.
Nah, not at all. It's called seizing an opportunity. Carpe diem. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, I have. Seize the day.
And I am. Thanks for asking.
That was not a
I'm
question.
penalising us up to an even 60 views for this season. An even...
What? In fuck's name?
Yeah.
Do you think you're doing?
+8. You didn't see that coming, did you? I really zagged on
Absolutely
you.
not. Oh, I'm so against that.
We've done such a good job of staying on track and staying on schedule that this bears acknagement and the punishment has to fit the crime.
No, that is something
+8.
that has to be agreed upon before time.
Not at all.
+1 or 2, sure.
+8.
But 8?
Yeah.
55 is a more satisfying number than 60.
A cheeky
What's
10
11
half
times
dozens.
5?
55.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, you tricked me.
Yeah.
No, I'm putting my foot down here, guy.
No one knows how to get to 60. No one can
is.
multiply that high.
5 times 12.
55. I don't know, man.
Wait, what?
The cap for guesses I have, the highest number I can go to is 55.
Really? Where'd you get up to on your multiplications times tables? when you were
11
a kid?
times 5.
And then no more. Then you were
Well,
like,
sure.
I'm
No,
done.
then I tried 5 times 12.
Dude,
55.
I always struggled with the 12 times table, actually. It was a real doozy, that one.
I mean,
11
it was virtually
easy.
impossible for me.
1 through 9, pretty good. There's a few tricks in there for young players. 9's always my favourite because what you do there is you add up the 2 digits and it gives you 9 all the time.
The 9 times tables.
You go like 9 times 6.
55.
Okay. No, 54. 55 equals 10.
54, yeah.
Yeah, that's how you do that. So you just get the number and then you subtract 1. So if it's 9 times 6, you go, what's 1 less than 6? 5.
55.
And then how do you get to 9? Chuck a 4 on. 54. You can do it with all of them. That's how 9 works.
Yeah, that's crazy.
8, you've got to memorize all of them. That's what I don't like about 8. But at least they're even numbers.
Give me a times table. I'll do it right now.
6.
36.
7 times 9.
55.
Nah. 7 times 9.
55.
No. So you go 7 minus 1 is 6. And how do you get to 9? Whack a 3 on it. So it's 63.
55.
Oh,
I told you the
okay.
highest number I can answer is 55.
Oh, I forgot that bit. Hey, yeah. So what'd you think of the movie?
Well, Tim, I tell you what I thought of the movie. I saw
with a mere 15 watches to go now.
I saw
What'd you think of this one?
nothing inside of that movie, which made me think that we should watch it 8 more times than we fucking agreed.
Here was Guy, after not having seen the movie for at least probably 10 days, I'd say at minimum. He paced around this tiny little room we've got like a prisoner inside a jail cell, and then just sat down in his chair facing the opposite direction of the screen, engaging me in conversation. And I was talking to Guy but watching the screen at the same time, and it took me about 5 or 6 minutes to realise you weren't even looking in the direction of the movie.
I was watching.
You were tuned out,
I was
my
watching
friend.
the reflection in your beautiful irises.
Well, this is why I've had to slap a penalty on us, mate, because you're taking the piss.
I just think
This project's integrity matters. You know, this is why the people are on board. That and because it's just a good time.
nah, man. It's just when I watched the movie, then I was like, it's one of the first things I said to you. The problem with it, it's sad or not sad. I said I miss watching people cashing a check.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is I miss in Grown Ups 2 and Sex and the City 2 watching cynical acting. I miss watching people who are just doing what is required of them so they can get that money, they can get out of there, they can make their passion projects. This is someone's passion project.
It feels like it, doesn't it? It feels like someone cared. They
No,
gave a
like
shit.
everyone probably took pay cuts. And by everyone, I mean
Zace Fron.
Somali, Zace Fron, and James Reed from The Feelers.
James Reed from The Fields, I can't imagine had a whole lot going on, though.
He always, when I was channel surfing in hotels, he always showed up on every other movie channel in something which looked vaguely watchable,
but very low
completely
budget.
missable. Yeah,
He's like that, though. He's had a career... Like Tom Hanks is a man who's picked his movies very carefully and well. And I would venture
well, you know
to
who
bet-
chooses them for him?
Who?
Wes Bentley.
No.
Yeah, that's why it eats Wes up inside that he can't.
That sucks. It's that old thing, though, isn't it? You can never take your own medicine. You're always the best critic of someone else's work, not your own.
Oh man, so true.
It's a truism that I've just laid upon the podcast. What do you think of it?
You can't take your own medicine.
Yeah.
Is that out there
I don't know.
in circulation, or
Not
do
sure.
you just say it then?
Just said it. Just put it out there. I mean, I think I'm kind of adapting that saying, how would you like a taste of your own medicine? You know, that kind of thing.
Very
like that.
well, very much so.
No. The point is people
It will
don't.
have no impact on me.
No, it's like, so what the saying is it's all about...
You just told me I can't take my own medicine,
Yeah.
and now you're offering me a taste.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like the thing that you dish out to other people, you can't take yourself, you know?
I just feel like you're flip-flopping.
Yeah. I hear you. You need to see more the metaphor and less the literal words that I'm putting out there, though. So the
Okay.
medicine's not medicine.
What is it?
It's like your behavior, your treatment, your words.
You can't take your own words.
Just doesn't have as good a ring to it, does it?
No, it's not quite the same.
Here's my shining light for this watch. With a mere 15 watches to go now, it was a bartender I've never noticed who was behind Zac Efron when we first meet both the wonderful Somali and the less wonderful James Reed from The Feelers. And that bartender is on screen for, I would estimate, second and a half. And he is doing that thing you do when you taste a cocktail that you've made by putting the straw in, putting your finger over the top of it, thus creating a kind of vacuum suction thing. And then you grab it out and you whack her in your mouth and you taste it and you go, is this mixed right? Is this the right amount of vermouth?
Did it look like he'd mixed the cocktail correctly?
Yeah, he looked happy with what he'd made.
Did he smile?
Yeah, he did. Well, yeah, he looked happy. I think he smiled.
Yeah?
I got an
did you get to
impression
see
of
him
happiness.
serve it?
No, you don't.
What was
Second and a half,
What
mate.
was he mixing?
Hard to say, but if I could venture a bet, a martini, hence the vermouth.
They put vermouth in a martini.
Yeah, it's just vermouth and then the other thing, which can sometimes be gin and sometimes be vodka.
Yeah. That's too much.
Definitely. It's actually, here's the tricky thing about martinis. Everyone thinks they're being very suave and sophisticated when they're ordering them because it's what James Bond drinks. But the secret is they're disgusting.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing but vermouth, which is a liqueur, and gin or vodka,
Yeah.
which is also just more alcohol.
You wouldn't go into a bar, say, give me a cocktail glass full of cold gin.
Yeah.
And I better have some vermouth to water it down.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be crazy.
But you call it a martini, you dress it up, and they put a little orange peel in it, and suddenly you're James Bond working for MI6.
Give me a cup of gin, watered down with some vermouth, and can you please put an olive in my drink? I'm the most disgusting person in the world.
I'm here on Her Majesty's Secret Service. I want you to give me a disgusting vomit drink, please.
I gotta tell you, that spy James Bond is no good.
I get my tuxedos from Savile Row and my drinks from the gutter of alcoholics. I just put some liqueur in with some other liqueur and then put basically what you would put in compost on top. And it makes it classy, see?
Do you like olives?
You know, I can take or leave an olive. It depends on the context. Love them in a pizza, but you can definitely go too far with them.
If I order olives for the table, will you have some of the olives?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, great.
I like the green ones. Is it called a pimento olive if they're stuffed? Is that what that is? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Sure thing, man, yeah.
Do you like an olive?
Yeah, I like olives. I like them plenty, sure.
Now, some people, and by some people I mean my fiancée Zoe, really loves an olive. And she'll have them with capers as well, like on a pizza. So the whole thing would just be like the saltiest thing you've ever eaten. Is that to your taste? Is that to your palate?
Capers and olives at the same time. It's not something I crave, but
you know the old saying,
capers and
olives and capers never wavers. Capers and olives.
You'll be
better add scallops. Because it is another salty food, but less so. So it sort of waters it down, you see.
Yeah, I didn't know that saying. I'm sure it will come as news to some of our listeners as well.
It's a very well-known idiom.
When some people have coriander or cilantro,
yes,
it tastes like poison.
No, soap, not poison.
What is soap but poison you clean your body with?
I guess that's true. Oh, that's deep, isn't it?
Yeah,
you want to know why? Because it's wrong.
What? You can't eat it.
Hey? You shouldn't. I mean, you can.
Well, sure, you can eat anything.
Yeah.
But you can't eat soap.
No, but the thing is with poison is that you definitely can't eat poison. I mean, soap's not going to taste great.
But no. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I've done?
I can see where my argument falls over.
I've taken the instruction that you gave me, which was a blank check. You said, Tim, I'm going to come in real hot and heavy. I'm going to support you in this. And I went, cool, I'm going to go the other way with it. I'm going to abuse your support and question everything you say.
Yeah, I would also like to argue, while I said that during the movie, I have not been supportive of some of the ideas expressed in this recording of the worst idea of all time.
It's too late, baby. It's out there. The stamp's on it. Is it good to be back with our friends, though? Are we still friends?
Has to have both types of saliva for on the stamp. The adhesive requires both types of saliva for it to stick. The stamp is not stuck.
All right, well, then I changed the question. Are you and I still friends?
I like to think so, yes.
And are we still friends with the boys?
Friendly, certainly on talking terms. I find it very difficult to hold grudges.
Did you have any fallings out this week?
No. And this is what I'm going to say. Time and time again, these guys have disappointed me. I know they've proven themselves to be bad friends. And yet every week when I see them, I show up with the same sort of, although with trepidation now, certainly an energy which says, hey guys, maybe this time
we'll get them
different.
in the next one. We'll get them this time. Yeah.
But time and again, you know, I am greeted with the same tepid reception and the same, you know, sort of treatment. And
are you sick of it, mate? Are you getting a bit over it?
Yeah,
your wit's end?
A little bit, yeah.
You're at the end of your tether?
Yeah, man. My wit and tether run out at exactly the same time.
Isn't that weird? You know that saying, how long's a piece of string?
Yeah.
It's as long as your wit.
Yeah. Or tether, in my instance also. You can use either. They're interchangeable. That's not true for everyone. I will say this to you, Tim. I did enjoy the movie once this week.
Oh, yeah. Please.
And that was when we called out one of our party-going frat boy douchebags. Not one of the friends, but one of the sort of slightly more yo-pro-seeming douches.
Was it the man who likes music?
I love music. No, it was his friend, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Who I've always thought looks like some sort of rower from a New Zealand high school.
Isn't he an interesting-looking man? He's got a face that's not quite There's something's happening on that face.
It's the face of someone who couldn't think of enough things to talk about, so started exercising a little bit extra.
Yeah, and now it's like his head doesn't fit in his body proper because you can't bulk up a head, but you can bulk up a body.
That's right. It's the perfect visual metaphor that his head doesn't quite, what is it? Fit on his body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit too small for it now. Used to be fine. If he just had it chilled out a little bit, it would have been fine.
And
right
you
in
can see
proportion.
he's lacking a spark because he runs an equation for his friend after speaking with Somali, who they sort of, I think, insinuate that they agree is very attractive. So they get up and they go to the kitchen for a private conversation, and he says, who was that? He's Somali. Well, he calls her Sophie, but, potato. Sophie Somali. He says, Somali, she was in my year at college.
She's in my year at college.
No, she was in my dorm. Oh, she was
in my year at... Oh, what was it?
She was in my year at law school at college. This isn't important. Every guy in my dorm saw her tits. I never did. Personally, wish I had. And we got bogged down in the detail of the quote there, when what I'm trying to point out to you is that, kind sir, if every dude in your dorm saw her tits, as you say, then how could you not have seen her tits if you lived in your dorm, which I assume you did because you say it's your dorm. Zaccoli, he misses...
It's a paradox.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It is.
It's an enigma. Wait, did you say this was... The rest of that word was enigma, by the way, just if anyone's wondering. Did you say this was your shining light of the movie?
No, I just said I enjoyed it. I enjoyed spoiling it.
I thought you were trying to find another way of going, this is my shining light. But it wasn't. You're just giving us bonus bits of enjoyment. Good on you.
It's not a bonus. A bonus would suggest that there was already some built-in enjoyment. That was the sole moment of enjoyment.
Well, we've got to have another one if that's not your shining light, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Really done the dirty on myself here.
Yeah.
What else did I enjoy? There was one moment when I saw, I don't know if it's worthy of a shining light, I saw some rope when Zaccoli's on his phone at the music festival. He's standing next to a bit of rope.
Okay.
You can do a lot with a rope.
Tell me, where was the rope in shot? Was it like on a...
He was standing up. He was looking
kind of
down in his LA singlet, and embarrassingly that he was wearing in Las Vegas. And I think it was on... He's facing us, and it's on his right-hand side. So next to his right bicep was a good bit of rope.
Just lying on the ground, or was
No, it was either
like fencing off an area sort of
not
thing.
even fencing off an area, like probably tying down a banner that was flying overhead, like to a pole.
I see.
I mean, I couldn't see the knots that were used, but I was into it.
Okay, a bit of rope.
Yeah.
Just a lovely bit of rope.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's something, isn't it?
It's something.
Now it's time to find out what's being hidden by cardboard wrapped by Apple in Getting Sentimental with James Reed. Guy, are you familiar with the concept of Native American shrunken heads?
No, Tim.
Well, I'm not either, and now I feel like I've put myself on very dicey territory because I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I think it's certain native cultures, which might, now that I think about it for another hot minute, might not even be Native American cultures, but some indigenous people somewhere who had like shrunken heads of their chieftains, I think. It was sort of like a mark of respect if you died and you're an important person. They would, I guess, like dehydrate your head maybe and kind of like a mummification process.
I got to tell you.
Yeah.
That sounds very disrespectful to dehydrate.
Today.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. To dehydrate someone you respect's head.
Yeah.
Immediately after they die.
But it preserves it, you see. I mean, look, I'm connecting some dots, which may not... Historian I am not.
No.
Neither am I a anthropologist, if I'm using that correctly. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm not.
I was thinking anthropologist. I reckon it was a good choice of word.
I know shrunken heads are in there. They're in the mix in the world. I know that they're not so much a part of modern culture, but in certain bits of the globe, they were around, and, you know, a real cultural artifact for someone. And amazingly, James Reed has managed to shrink a couple of heads, two,
He's done it himself.
to fit inside a MacBook Pro box. He has, and he hasn't quite understood the process.
Why has he done this in the first place?
He thought he was doing a good thing by getting a gift for Zuccoli. Now, the thing is, James Reed from The Feelers also, gives us the context that this is a self-serving gift. So what James Reed from The Feelers has done is vanquished 2 rival DJs. Not himself, he hired a guy. And taken their bodies, decapitated them.
Holy shit.
And less shrunken the head and more stuffed them into a MacBook Pro box, like in a mashed kind of a way. And look, it's disgusting, it's messy, it's gory. I wish we didn't have to keep talking about it week after week. But if he's going to put them in there, we're going to discuss it.
His gift to Zasoli is what? You are now also involved in a double homicide.
Correct. 2 mashed up heads.
And the murder
DJs.
weapon that he puts his fingerprints on.
Yeah. Which is a knife constructed of obsidian, which is a rock. It's black and it's very sharp.
I gotta say, coming from a guy who just told me that we're going to watch this movie 15 more times, that is incredibly
We're
dark.
going to be spending a lot of time together, you and I, buddy.
Oh, no way, Jose.
It's going to be good fun and good eating.
Man, that is just... What DJs did he kill?
Well...
Have we heard of them, or are they local circuit DJs?
Yeah, you ever heard of Calvin Harris, dog? Because I have.
Oh, my God. Not Calvin Harris.
And the other one was the taller one from Daft Punk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is his head still inside the helmet?
Yeah.
Did he shrink the helmet down?
He shrunk the helmet down using fire, but you can't do that to a head. So it's just I don't want to get too much into it.
Even then, I think you've done
Enough.
Enough. Oh, wow, man. Well, I got to say, that feels like so much less of a gift and so much more of a curse. Truly. That is awful behavior from James Reed.
Very unbecoming of a feeler, I would say.
Yeah.
What do we expect from them? Platinum albums, Christmas in the Park performances.
And do a pretty solid tour of regional pubs.
Absolutely. What do you not expect from them? To assassin their musical rivals.
I don't even think
to mash their heads.
I don't even think Daft Punk or Calvin Harris would consider the Feelers to be a rival.
This is the thing about this movie. It'll surprise you. It'll surprise you every time.
It would surprise me that the Feelers were on either of their radars. Unless you're looking for some classic early 2000s New Zealand soft rock samples.
4 to the floor, approximately 120 BPM. Very easy to drum along to at home on your own kit. That's what I like about it.
Man, I'm really sorry to hear that to the other half of Daft Punk and Calvin Harris's family.
You know what they've had to call themselves now? Just your face at seeing what I was about to lay down and not being happy with it brought me a lot of joy.
I was happy. It was a funny thing to say. It's just called Daft. So Punk's dead.
Punk's gone. It's been decapitated.
It's a powerful statement.
It surely is. I tell you what, though. Of all the boys that I saw this week hanging out with us, I took a real shine to the few times I was paying attention to Johnny Depp.
That seems unlikely.
Why do you say that?
You got nothing but bad things to say about him.
Not this week. I'm hitting pause on the contempt and cranking my enjoyment up to 11.
Tell me about it. Tell me everything you feel.
He's just injecting stuff in the movie that would be really missing without him being there. Para Hemplay, the leather jacket. Like, what's up? I'm wearing a leather jacket. Dead animals live here. That's cool. I love that. And the facial hair thing, it's just so unexpected. He just pops into a scene and he's got completely different facial hair going on. And it was such a bold choice for the actor to make, to turn up on set. They really care about that shit because it's very noticeable on screen if you just wander onto set and you've had a massive shave when the rest of the movie you've shot, you've got a moustache or something. And so they had to write a line on the day delivered by your man and mine, Jarhead.
I
was just getting used to hanging out with Burt Reynolds, which is a great line to ad-lib on the day. But they had to chuck it in. That isn't in the movie, you know? It wasn't in the original shooting script, because why would it be?
Oh, man.
So good on you, Johnny Depp. Trailblazer.
I made that exact faux pas, not on purpose. I had to get a haircut. I had to leave my hair long for continuity and then get it cut because it had grown longer than it was for the thing that I was filming.
And did you cut too much?
And it got cut too short.
So then what happened?
Well, it's being edited right. There'll be a man in a room or a woman in a room somewhere watching the footage going, fuck you, dude.
Dang.
You're going to make me look like a piece of shit.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, to whoever you are, I'm sorry. What's that from?
Sounds like an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, who's
the way you say it.
Well, you know, good on you, man. Johnny Depp. It's important to find the things you like about people you don't usually get along with, because then you can focus on those details for next time, and if not start a friendship, at least bury some resentment.
And that's always fun, isn't it? It's a good satisfying pastime.
Burying resentment.
Yeah. Keeps you warm, I've found.
Yeah, it keeps
just suppressing emotions. Keeps you warm at night. If you don't have enough blankets on, just think of the time you've been wronged and nothing was sort of done about it. That'll warm you up. It's good fuel on the fire.
And then bury it or just leave it open?
Bury it again. You got to open it up and then bury it again.
To stay warm.
Yeah. Absolutely. You laugh, but try it. See how you go.
I'd sooner not.
Listen, what we need to get to the bottom of
I
as
was wronged by Uber Eats. I'd like to use this.
You feeling a bit chilly?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
I don't need to get
Fuck
into
the
it.
heater. Tell me about what Uber Eats did to you.
I would just it's not an interesting story, but I bought burgers from Lord of the Fries in Perth for a bunch of people, $50 worth of burgers and chips.
Quite a lot.
And they got I watched the guy. It's very difficult to change your phone number over on the Uber apps.
Absolutely.
Like to do it, it's a real nightmare. And I forgot in the initial message to say, "Hey, call me on this number if you're having problems."
Because you're from New Zealand, so that's the telephone
I had a different number.
Has.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're ordering in
I
Australia.
didn't do it, and then there was no means of me communicating the guy.
You're off the grid.
I was on the grid. I just couldn't do it. And then I watched him biking back and forth, like the street above where we were staying, for like 5 minutes, and then just leaving. I couldn't contact him, and I was like,
You didn't help him out? You didn't yell at him?
Oh, we couldn't see him. Like, we
oh,
were on the
you
other
saw him
side
on the
of a building.
GPS.
Yeah, saw him on the app. Sorry. Anyways, there's nothing to be done, and then I messaged Uber as I saw it happen because I just saw him bike off. I was like, "Oh, it's coming back!" I was like, and I got everyone around him. Yeah, he's coming back. And then just watched as on the other side of the app, he just kept biking all the way away with just a bag full of food.
See, now here's my question: how do you fuck up navigating these days? It feels inexcusable to me, because if you could see where you are on the Google Maps, surely he can figure it. I mean, it couldn't be simpler, guy.
Absolutely.
They have launched a satellite system for us to use for free to figure out where those burgers are supposed to go. Couldn't be easier. And this Charlie on his bicycle still finds a way to screw it up.
Well, but you don't need. So this guy, you don't need to worry about that. So that was frustrating in and of itself, Tim. And I contacted Uber immediately. I said, "Hey guys, had a bit of a situation here. My food's just biked away. Having trouble contacting the
I'm imagining a really big hamburger riding a bike now.
Yeah, I had a bit of trouble contacting the guy. Could you can we do something about this? Please contact me via email or this phone number." And then I woke up
the Flash.
I got a message back the next day saying, "Hey, saw what happened. The driver said he tried to contact you but couldn't get a hold of you. We can't do anything about it this time." And I was like, okay. And then I explained the problem with their app and how that didn't work. And I was like, yeah, look, I think, but I was
you wanted a refund. That's what you were chasing that dragon.
I was like, oh yeah, no, but I mean, it was pretty frustrating to watch. It took ages. It took like it took longer than it was meant. It was pretty frustrating, like watching it get prepared, getting real excited, and then watching my food come over, and then bike past the place, multiple times.
Do you know what I need from you, Guy Montgomery? A little bit more personal responsibility.
I know.
Change your phone number over when you're in Australia and you're
I
ordering
tried
burgers.
to.
But
I
you've done it
tried-
after the order, hadn't you?
No, I tried to do it. I've tried to
did
do
you?
it so many times.
Is it really that difficult?
It's really that difficult. It's easier to just do it temporarily every time. And if
Right.
you forget, you're locked out.
Right. Oh,
Anyway,
boy.
and they were just like,
brother.
they were like, oh, wow, that sounds really frustrating, guy. Well,
See ya.
Yeah, that sounds really I can understand why you'd be frustrated. Sadly, we're unable to do anything about it this time. And I was like, oh, come on, guys. Like, it was really frustrating. And it's like $50. Usually I don't mind, but this is pretty annoying. And they're like, yeah, we can see it's really frustrating, guy. But we're not going to be able to do anything about it this time. And I was like, look, Chuck M., my problem doesn't lie with you. It lies with the people you work for. Give me fucking, like, do something. It's like, if you really want to do something, you would. And he's like, yeah, look, we're going to have to end our correspondence here.
Really?
Yeah.
Just
then I
dropped
was
it
like-
off.
And I was like, I wrote back. I'd been trying to hold out, and then I wrote back. Sophie, my partner, was like, because I was like, should I write, fuck you? No, and then the last one, I was like, fuck. I was like, this isn't for you, Chuck, but I want you to relay to all of your employees, fuck you. Oh, no, because they had the gall before that to be like, wow, that sounds really frustrating, guy. We're sorry it didn't work out this time. We hope you'll use us again. Then you got to be taking the piss. You can't acknowledge your mistake, say you're not going to do anything about it, and then be like, but try rolling the dice next time.
You played and lost.
Oh, look, and it's so minor, and I really didn't want to dig it up.
But do you feel warmer?
I deleted the app. I'm going to go back to having to go and pick up my food like a schmuck.
Oh, God. What a world we live in, eh?
It's so pathetic because Uber have been so villainous across the board in so many different ways.
Here was an opportunity, guys.
But it took,
Help Guy Montgomery out.
but it took until I was wrong for me to be like, you know what? This is the straw that broke the camel's back.
First, they came for their employees, and I said nothing, for I was not an Uber employee.
Oh, fuck.
And now here you are. Do you know what I want to find out, though? What is going on in that bathroom?
Yeah, dude.
You know? What's happened in there?
Well, I'll tell you this. Someone showed up to the party at 3 a.m. with
Yeah.
$50 worth of hamburgers.
Fuck off. How did that happen?
I got no idea. All I know is everyone was very excited to see the food arrive. They
Yeah.
said, let's tuck in.
Sure. So in America, the thing you got to remember is, firstly, this bicyclist working for Uber Eats has gone way off track because their order came from, I'm assuming, a major city in Australia, maybe Sydney or Perth, another major city of Australia. Somehow this bicyclist has
The
wound up
most isolated city in the world.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Genuinely is. Yeah. By some metric, by like how far away it is from something, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this bicyclist has managed to haul ass across the Pacific to wind up. Don't shake your head. That's the right ocean.
I'm
isn't it?
shaking my head at the very idea
You're
of
right.
it.
I say, have I got my oceans right? He's wound up in the valley of Los Angeles in California, which is crazy. And some enterprising young lads have gone, a rogue $50 burger order, eh? That'll really pipe up this party. And so they bring it in.
There's no way these burgers can be good to eat at this point, by the way. We've got to say.
They're wet.
They
They're
have
cold.
Traveled so far.
Like about 10,000
It would
kilometers, I
take
reckon.
just one shred of common sense to say, you know
Yeah.
what? I think we should eat these burgers.
But amazing that they got there. I would eat them just out of sheer curiosity about the whole thing. It'd be like if you discovered a little piece of the true cross that Jesus was crucified on. I'd eat that too, just to be a part of it, you know?
Yeah, man, you can eat anything.
So then the question becomes, what happened in the bathroom?
Well, what happens when you eat sort of 15,000 kilometer old burgers?
Oh
What-
my God, I actually know the answer to this question because I don't think you can get done for libelous on a podcast, but I had Lord of the Fries and I'm pretty fucking confident it gave me bacterial gastroenteritis. So I actually can relate to this and think I know exactly where you're going with what's happened in that bathroom, what Johnny Depp has discovered. You're getting an original tainted product, which will give people very unusual bowel movements, unexpected and far from solid. You've combined with that the power of Poseidon himself, and 10,000 kilometers worth of travel. And you know what? Consuming that's not going to be good for your intestines. It's going to be bad.
The opposite of good.
Yeah. So, look, I don't want to paint too vivid a picture after this shrunken head disaster, but I think you know where we're going with this. It's a porcelain nightmare.
Yeah.
Code Brown.
Porcelain Nightmare. Sounds like the name of a high school rock quest band.
I think it was actually. I think Poo Hate that might be a name of one of their tracks. I've talked about Poo Hate on the podcast before.
Yeah.
This is a comedy death metal band that some friends of mine created when we were teenagers. It was very good. Another one
That is so unlikely.
Another one of the tracks was called Captain's Log. I remember that one. And another one was called Lictoranium Scrutix. It was like faux Latin.
Yeah, man.
Last time I mentioned them, I got a message from one of the boys in the band saying, hey, there's been a few hits on the website. Did you mention it on the podcast? I bloody did.
Oh,
I did.
great.
So let's do that again, everyone. Google Poo Hate. They might have the website still going. Hard to say. Not sure. But
If not, buy the domain name and lord it over Tim for the rest of his years.
Mate, have it. Not my band. Not my problem.
Oh, you weren't in the band.
No. Not musical enough. Not good enough.
Did you hype them up?
Absolutely. Went to every gig.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many people did they play to? What was the most?
I remember them playing in the school hall, which in retrospect seems unlikely, but did happen. They managed to play to like a school assembly, I think.
What song did
It's
they...
funny, isn't it?
What smash hit did they dig out from their back catalogue?
I'm not sure.
Was it Captain's Log or Porcelain Nightmare?
Lictoranium Scrutix, perhaps.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Poo Hate.
All of the tracks were like 45 seconds, as all good comedy death metal tracks should be. It's just like, make your point and on to
Get
the
out.
next one. So look, any closing thoughts on this film?
I'm not watching this movie 60 times.
We absolutely are. I can't express to you how much we are, because I'm not doing this out of spite. I'm doing this because there needs to be solid recognition that we fucked up. Okay?
Yeah, we can acknowledge it, but
I'm sorry
I
for
think
swearing.
You also have to look at the scientific reason that we probably didn't watch it for so long. It's because of our obviously we were busy, but because of our deep-seated desire to not watch the film.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses out of you.
It's not an excuse, it's a fact. It's not happened before. That's your body's way of saying, hey, dude,
do you know,
you might want to take it easy on we are your friends for a while.
Hey, do you know what else hasn't happened before, Guy? I haven't penalised us 15 watches, okay?
Yeah, I agree. That's a huge
Matches
part of
the
why
crime.
I'm bringing it up.
And
Wrong.
And even
wrong.
60. 60's a good number.
No, these
It's
are the
even.
ramblings of a maniac.
We're going to end it there. I would like to say thank you for bearing with us. I'd like to say thank you to my friend Guy for coming back to New Zealand.
It's great to be back.
Ow! This movie's still fine. One of them dies, that goes screw. One of them's a hottie, his name is Jay. One of them looks like Johnny Depp, and his name is Johnny Depp.
Classic Maximum Joseph.
You forget that films are supposed to have a point.